Well, Prince George's is gearing up for the 2020 census. It's a 10-year survey that determines how billions of dollars are distributed to communities to help fund schools, hospitals, and roads. With us now to talk more about the importance of the survey is Jordan Baucum Colbert with the Maryland National Capital Park and Planning Commission. And thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Well, why don't we start? Just briefly tell us what the census is about and why it's important.
Sure. The census takes place every 10 years. This year it will take place in March 2020. That's when the first electronic process will roll out. The official day is April 1st. And the importance of the census is that every 10 years the U.S. Census Bureau does a count and population of the residents in the United States to ensure that federal funding is allotted to various jurisdictions throughout the nation.
And why is it important?
It's important because everything you think of in terms of your livelihood, from Head Start to WIC to SNAP, all of our benefits that we receive from the federal government, when we talk about schools and roads, all of those things come into play in terms of how we're federally funded for our area, especially for Prince George's County.
And let's talk specifically about Prince George's. Why is it important for the county to get an accurate count?
So unfortunately in 2010, Prince George's County had a small low response rate of 2.3% of its population, which was hard to count. Either we had a hard time reaching them or there was a low response rate. And so this year we want to make sure that those numbers are up. At the state level, we lose about $18,250,000 per person over the course of 10 years. And that means when we talk about schools and we talk about benefits, all of that money could have gone to allotted and developing programs within the county. So that's why it's important.
There was some recent controversy. President Trump had discussed trying to get census citizenship information being requested through the census takers. Tell us how that's all played out.
Yes, so the Supreme Court said that information would not be able to go on the census, so the forms are being printed currently now without that component or that question. So that's one thing that our residents don't have to worry about in terms of the short form census, what comes out every 10 years. But the American Community Survey, which comes out annually to a small group of residents, there may be a citizenship question on that component. Some residents have received that as of early as August.
And why is that important? Is that there seems to be a growing fear from people, particularly immigrants, to respond to the census for fear that this could lead to other problems.
It's important for us to educate our community that it's important and safe and easy. And the safe component is that there are legal consequences for U.S. Census Bureau representatives that disclose any personal data from our residents. So it's important for them to know that we need to go ahead and complete the form to the best of our ability, and that there are legal consequences if their information is disclosed.
All right, you have some workshops coming up to educate people about this. Tell us a little bit.
Yeah, so we have fun. Every month my team and I are hosting census solution workshops, and these workshops were designed by the U.S. Census Bureau for advocates that want to educate the community. And one of the things that we do in our census workshop is we conduct a 101. Many of our residents are new census takers. Some of them don't remember taking it 10 years ago. So we give a background of information on why the census is important. We go into stats as it relates to Prince George's County, and how we can reach new partnerships, how we can reach those hard to count communities, and we break out into groups and strategize how we'll get there. And most importantly, we want to develop ambassadors, because while we love to reach everyone, we can't reach everyone with just a few people. So our goal is to create volunteer opportunities for us to go across the county to reach people.
And you have an upcoming one. We want to talk about that.
Yes, so September the 21st at 10 a.m. in the College Park Aviation Operations Museum building, we will host our third Census Solution Workshop.
All right, so some good information for people to come out and learn a little bit more about the census. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And that Park and Planning Commission is holding its third Census Solution Workshop, as she mentioned, at the College Park Aviation Museum on Saturday, September 21st from 10 until, let me get this right, 10 a.m. until 12:30 p.m. For more information, visit mncppc.org.